Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday morning, the 4th day of February 2025. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we broadcast at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening from anywhere else on the planet this morning, that tells me you've gone to our website to tune in, ksje.com. I also want to welcome our viewers who are joining us this morning because you can see this program. The video is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everyone. So glad that you are with me this morning because coming up in the next few moments, my guest today from the San Juan Health Council, part of KSJE's commitment to talk with a member of the San Juan Health Council each and every month, and we appreciate their partnership with us. Today we're talking about their upcoming Family Health Expo that's coming up here on February 22nd. Get more details in the next few moments here on KSJE Today. Then, of course, we'll check in with Amber Francisco over at the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter. That's coming up at 8:50 a.m. this hour. Amber will be telling us about some of the pets available for adoption this week, including Nina. That's the good-looking dog you see there on the screen. Hear more about Nina and more of the pets coming up today, 8:50 here on KSJE. That will set things up for our classical music program, Roving with the Arts, with the one and only Mick Hess. He'll take over the studio after the news at 9:06 on KSJE this morning. Also a reminder, you can connect with us on our other social media platforms like X and Instagram, in addition to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're a podcast person, you can check out KSJE Podcast wherever you're probably already listening to podcasts. Check it out and maybe discover a new program that you may have missed recently. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is a partly cloudy Tuesday morning, 36 degrees at the moment. We're expecting a mostly cloudy day today. That'll make things a bit milder, 66 for high in Farmington, 31 with clear skies tonight. Sunshine tomorrow, the high 61 on Wednesday, 63 by Thursday, 62 by Friday, back down to 51 with partly sunny skies on Saturday with overnight lows, as you can see, mostly near 30 degrees, maybe upper 30s by Friday night and mid-20s by Saturday night. Certainly not normal temperatures or typical temperatures that we would see this early in February. I'll be back with my guest from the San Juan Health Council right after this. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The most important ingredients to sustaining health and wellness are the resources and tools that help you live a vibrant and healthy life. At San Juan Regional Medical Center, the goal is to promote health by making sure those resources are available. Find the path to the best life at lifebetterhere.com. San Juan Regional Medical Center. Better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care. Joining me now in Studio A, as I mentioned, from the San Juan Health Council, Rick Griffiths is here. He is the chairman of the San Juan Health Council. Good morning. Welcome back to KSJE.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. Good to have you here. Also, Amanda Evans is here as well from the Health Council. Amanda, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to have both of you here this morning because we're, about 3 weeks out from the big Health Expo that is coming back at the McGee Park, right?
Yeah, we are getting close and we're so excited.
Very good, and that's why you're here to talk to me about it, right? As things are coming up, Saturday, February 22nd, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at McGee Park, the Healthy Living Expo, back for its second year.
Yes, we had a great first year in 2024 and we're back again.
Very good. Rick, talk to me a little bit about the Health Council and its commitment to having events like this coming back for the second year.
You know, the Health Council, it is a great organization that has been around for decades in San Juan County, and our mission is to work to improve the health of the residents of San Juan County. we do that through a number of different ways, through partnering with different organizations. We have over 30 different members of the Health Council. Many of them are health and wellness organizations here in San Juan County. We meet once a month and bring all of those representatives together to work on how we can collaborate, how we can refer between our organizations and build up the health and wellness community here in San Juan County. And as part of that, one of the things we really want to do is get the word out about health and wellness, let people know about what is available. I think that's one of the biggest things that we see, is that we don't always know all of the resources that we have available to us here in San Juan County. And so that's really where, events like this come into play, is we get that opportunity to showcase all of these different opportunities for health and wellness, and to really, recognize that there's a lot of things that we have in San Juan County that relates to health and wellness that we don't think about. Our great outdoor recreation, our great support systems that we have here. So we'd like to bring all those systems together and let people see all the opportunities that we have here in San Juan County, connect with providers, connect with services, connect with businesses that promote health and wellness, and really kind of get a great start to the new year. And so that's really what the council is about, is really bringing people together to just move forward the overall health of our community, and get people active and enjoying their lives and living their best life.
There you go. And when we think about health and wellness, you can really have a very broad interpretation of what that means, which is why I think the Health Council casts this very large net, which is great, to include a lot of organizations and a lot of businesses and nonprofits that are doing what they do to help us live our best lives.
Absolutely. I mean, when we think about health and wellness, oftentimes we think very narrowly into that, physical health. Sometimes we get into mental health,
Sure.
But there is so much more to our lives about, health and wellness, whether that's getting out and being outdoors and getting that, emotional connection, whether that's spiritual, whether that's financial health and wellness. All of those
Good
things
point.
that create stress in our lives, impact our health. And so we want to bring together those resources to where, we can identify what are those things that are impacting us, and how can we utilize the many resources we have available to overcome those. And so, we're really hoping with this expo as well that those, businesses and organizations that do participate in those various things that may not be that traditional, will also come and vend. And so we've got a lot of, spaces available that we'd love to have, those vendors coming in and showcasing what they do, but also bringing that public in to be able to see all of these different ways that we can impact our health in all, like you say, in all these different sectors. It's much more than just, our physical health.
Going to the doctor or dentist
Right.
or things like that. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so there's still some booth space available, Amanda Evans, for the Healthy Living Expo, if folks are listening to us and want to get signed up here in the last 3 weeks.
There is. That's why we chose McGee Park. Is we have not unlimited space, but
Right.
really close for this area.
Sure.
So last year we had over 50 booths. This year we're shooting for over 75, and we have about 10 spots left to hit that goal, but we can even accommodate a few more if they hit us up in the next week. We'd like to get them by the end of this week, just so we can make sure they have the correct amount of space, but we would love to have more people show up.
Okay. And of course, what's unique about this is that the booth space is free.
Yes, and that is
You don't see that
No,
sometimes.
you don't. A lot
So-
of we chose that specifically so that organizations who might not have funds to, as a nonprofit ourselves,
Yeah.
working with San Juan County Partnership, some of your grants don't always pay for space. So through sponsorships and through our DOH funding, we have been able to offer both the booths for free and participation for people who come for free.
Very good. And as we see on the poster, go ahead, Rick, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, and we do, with that, like I said, mentioned through sponsorships through our
Yes.
DOH funding. We do also recognize San Juan Regional Medical Center joined us as our flagship sponsor, and so they're helping us out with a lot of that as well. So we
Nice.
also recognize, their contribution in, again, being able to make this so that we can have all of these providers come in regardless of what their internal funding structure may allow them to do or not.
Exactly.
So we really appreciate their support as well from
Sure.
the medical center.
Yeah, thank you for adding that. I just was going to say, too, even though the booth space is free, you do want folks to fill out an application just so you know that they're coming, and that's what we're showing on the screen right now. There's a website there or a QR code. You can point your phone at that and just get signed up, and you want to do that by the end of this week.
Yes, they can also call me if they have issues with the form, but that just gives us an idea, one, of who's coming so we can kind of fit you in the right space, but also what space you need. We have like fast Farmington single track, Farmington area single track. They take up a whole corner because they come and bring a bike track, kind of put
They're
together.
riding bikes, yeah, sure,
Yeah,
in their booth,
you know, some people want one booth, some people need a bigger space if they're going to be displaying or doing activities. So we just need to have some details about your organization, how to contact you, and what space you might want. And so we just have a few questions on that form to kind of get you in the right spot.
Okay. Very, very good, and that is important. And then for everyone else, just to remind ourselves to show up on the 22nd to go out and see all the different things that are part of the Healthy Living Expo at McGee Park. And as we've said, that definition is pretty broad, right? And that booths kind of reflect that.
Yeah, we have everything from, San Juan Regional Medical Center is bringing like 6 of their departments, so we're going to have lots of information on that side, because I don't think you can talk about health and wellness without them as part of the conversation in our community.
You bet.
But we also have some new ones. We have a local honey person that's going to be bringing local honey. We have someone, I think I just saw, we caught one just this weekend that's going to be bringing like crystals and dream catchers and things that feed into kind of that spiritual aspect that Rick was talking about. So we have a really wide variety. We have social services. We have people who are selling things to help you become more healthy, doing educational stuff. There's going to be giveaways, prizes at some of the different booths. So it's going to be a really wide variety of stuff.
Nice. Very good. And again, this all goes back to what Rick was telling us about the purpose of the Health Council, which is to get these groups together and learn about different resources available here in our community, and to be able to promote those and let the public know about these things as well, which is what the Health Council does.
Absolutely. I mean, that's really at the heart of our mission, is to bring, our health and wellness community together to promote health and wellness, and to work throughout the community to engage and build health and wellness in our community. And so, we're looking at this as a great opportunity for us to do that, and we're also looking for other opportunities as well that we can bring in throughout the year, that we can continue to kind of build on this conversation and bring our health and wellness community to the forefront, so that we can, again, just recognize all the great opportunities that we have here in San Juan County. Sure, indeed.
And here we are, kind of towards the end of February, when this event is going to be. Maybe some folks have fallen off the wagon, if you will, regarding their New Year's resolutions. And so I think the timing is excellent to try to maybe get us to recommit to some of those resolutions that maybe we made a few weeks ago.
And that we definitely recognize that. We try to be a little strategic about, planning this and recognizing that, health and wellness is really on our forefront at the beginning of the year. We are kind of to that point in the year where we've started to kind of question some of those things. So this is a great opportunity for us to, really dig in and make some realistic choices. Maybe we were a little unrealistic in early January, but now we can maybe adjust those, come up with some realistic guidelines, some realistic thoughts around some goals for the rest of the year, and connect in with some resources that can help us achieve it.
Exactly. Very, very true. And so this event is designed with that in mind. And again, folks are being invited to come out. Again, it's free admission too, right? Free booths and free admission to come out to the Healthy Living Expo too, right? For families.
Yes, there's no cost at all. We will be there just providing information. And last year we had I think we had a little over 500 community members show up. And this year we're hoping even more. That's why we were really encouraging new booths. So if you came last year, you might see something totally new that you didn't see last year. But we'll also have some of the ones from last year. So if you didn't show up, you can come find something to help you with those goals. Maybe you realized, that going to the gym every day for your physical health is not going to be what you make it through the year with. But
maybe not realistic, as Rick was saying, right?
Okay. So maybe you come find an outdoor rec program or something like that you can kind of fit into that and meet those needs that you're wanting.
Very true. And for all ages too, I would think, right? You've got things there for kids and adults.
Yep, we have games. Like I said, we have the bike stuff. We're going to have several of our organizations last year did kid-friendly stuff. We had, I think PMS brought Jenga, and I think they're bringing that back again.
Okay.
I heard. So we just kind of encourage, we're not making a requirement for vendors, but just something interactive with participants.
Yeah, that would be great. Very good. And there's food too.
Yes, we have a concession stand that will be open. I'm going to let Rick share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we will have there in the Expo Center. There is the concessions booth that we will have concessions available for the entirety of the expo.
Okay.
That's going to be run by one of our 4-H clubs. Primetime 4-H is doing it as actually a fundraiser for their organization.
Nice.
And that money will all go back to that club, that they're going to be able to use that to support their work throughout the year. That'll go to many times with 4-H. People think of livestock and that, the animals at the fair, and that's one aspect. But those kids are working on projects throughout the year. They're doing a lot of leadership projects. They're doing community service throughout the year. So they're doing a lot of work in our community that this project will go back. And 4-H does have at the core of its mission health and wellness as well. That's one of the H's is health. And so they have agreed to come in. They're going to do and run the concession stand. They're going to have some healthy foods there. They're going to have, they told me they're going to be healthy but good.
Okay.
So I'm very confident they're going to do a great job. And they'll have a range of food options, whether that be a more formal lunch option, especially for our vendors, that they'll be able to get food there on site. But also, if you're coming through as an individual, they're going to have some snack items and things like that you can purchase from them, drinks. And all that money will go back to support the 4-H clubs and all of the activities that those kids specifically are doing, whether that's going to leadership camps, going to skills camps, going to putting on service projects, going to their learning projects. That will all go back to that club. So we're really excited about the fact that, as part of this, not only are we able to put on our mission, but we're able to bring in a youth organization and have them run the concession stand and have that sponsor, their activities as well. So, it's really a win-win for everybody.
Definitely. Good. Sounds good. And that's a great thing to be able to offer to folks to come. And that's probably one of the few things you'd spend money on at this event, since admission is free and booth space is free.
Yep.
and things along that as well. So
yeah.
That's good. Coming back to the Health Council, and you mentioned kind of you meet once a month. I know the meetings are always open to new members or new individuals or organizations that maybe want to find out more about what the Health Council does, or maybe be a part of the Health Council moving forward. It is a pretty inviting organization, is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. We're an open to the public organization. We meet once a month on the third Thursday of the month.
Okay.
At the PMS Community Health Center building in the Marion Oil Room. We meet at 3 o'clock. Anyone is welcome. Our meetings generally last about an hour and a half, and typically at those meetings we kind of do two things. We'll have most months we have an organization in the community that has a new project or something coming on that they want to share with the community. They will do a presentation, 20 or 30 minutes or so, just kind of letting us know what's going on in their organization. And if there's an organization out there that has something going on they'd like to share with the council, contact Amanda and she'll schedule them in to do that. And then from there, we generally will have kind of a networking session where we'll go around the room and we'll share with everybody all of the things that are happening in the community. So it's a great opportunity. We'd love to have individuals that are interested in health and wellness come to the meeting. You're more than welcome to just show up and introduce yourself and find out more and become a part of the group. And then, also organizations, if there's an organization that wants to send a representative, wants to be a part of it, we'd love to have them as well. There's no cost to either one. Right. It's just come and be a part of the group and work to promote health and wellness in our community.
Very good. And again, go ahead, Amanda, you were going to add.
I will that we are not meeting in February because that is 2 days before the Health Expo, so Rick and I will be a little busy doing that.
Okay.
And
so you'll see everybody in March.
Yes, so do not show up in February, but feel free to email me. You can reach out to evansa@sjcpartnership.org, or we have a Health Council email that is sjhc@sjcpartnership.org. They can email over either of those, and I will get them on the email list for the March meeting.
Okay, very good. Good to know. And that's an important distinction, that you guys are going to be busy with the Health Expo. And it's not just you two that have been working on this, though. I know there's probably a small army of folks who've been putting this together. Some other volunteers, too, that have been helping to make this happen? We
have a great core team that has been behind the scenes helping make decisions on it. We have a lot of different members that help volunteer and do different pieces. We also have just our vendors and our sponsors that have been great about not just donating their money, but their time and energy, their social media to help us get the word out about it. The 4-H is helping out. There's all these different groups that are just making it possible to make this huge event possible.
Right, which is great. And again, there have been health kind of fairs in the past and things like that. I think other communities have them around this time of year as well. It seems like the Health Council's kind of taken over the Health Expo in our area, and so there really aren't a lot of other ones happening. But this one, and that's kind of, I think, by design too, is to try to focus all the energy on this event for folks to come and have a one-stop shop for things that they're looking for.
Yeah, there's definitely other smaller things going on. Different organizations have their own.
Sure.
The county has one for their employees. I think the college has one for their employees and students. But this is really, we wanted to kind of expand that definition of health, and that doesn't always happen with some of these smaller ones. They're still great to attend because you're going to get a different perspective at each event. The Farmington Chamber of Commerce actually used to be the one that did this kind of January health fair in kind of a larger scale, and they joined with us. Their health and wellness committee joined with us 5 or 6 years ago, and so that was kind of, COVID hit right after that, and this kind of got put by the wayside for a little bit, and we decided to reinvigorate it and bring it back.
Gotcha. And that's kind of what we see today is this Healthy Living Expo, which really does incorporate a lot of other things than just healthcare and things like that, as Rick was saying before. So that's an important thing to make note of. The other thing I wanted to make sure we explain to folks is just about the Health Council. I know, Amanda, you explain this to me quite regularly about how many there are across the state, and that they are funded by the state, and maybe some places don't have health departments, but they have a health council, and luckily for us, we have both here in San Juan County.
Yes, so the Department of Health, through different things, have had for health councils for many, many years. They actually started back in the 90s as maternal child health councils, and they were really focused on women's and child health. And then what we realized in the early 2000s was health was really needed to be talked about in a broader lens, and that's when they became these comprehensive health councils. Every county in the state has one. This is really an unusual model. Most states do have county health departments in each of their counties, and so New Mexico's unique in that it doesn't. It has a little different system. So we are lucky. We have a great public health department here that has a lot of services, so we are really more of a support system for them.
Right. And that's what you do, is promote and promote some of the things that they're doing at the health department too, I would think.
Yes, that's part of what we are we have a grant through the Department of Health to help fund things like our projects like the Healthy Living Expo, but also some of theirs. They are really promoting not just their public health services, but like things like the 988 number, which is a crisis line that people can call. They have some tobacco programs that we're going to be helping to promote some of the 1-800-QUIT things. We have also, we're going to be working with their suicide prevention programs to help bring some of that to the community. So there's just a lot that the Public Health and Department of Health work on, and we're just around to support that and help bring that out into the community more.
Gotcha. Very good. Thank you for reminding us about the history of the health councils in our state. And again, these are all funded by state funding pretty much, right? And so you're able to do what you do through the state funding.
Yeah, that's really what makes it possible. Some councils have outside funding. Some are primarily funded through Department of Health, but really that's the core of what a health council can start with. And then kind of expand from there. But it really, that funding from Department of Health and from the state budget really makes it possible for us to do some of these projects, because it's hard to ask our community. We have great community members like San Juan Regional Medical Center who's helping support this, but even what we've gotten from local sponsors and from them isn't enough to put on some of these events. And so we really need all of that funding, community and state funding, to make this possible.
Sure. Right. And again, bringing all these folks together. And then I guess, Rick, my question to you would be, when you look around the table at these health council meetings and all the different folks who are there, a lot of these folks are from other nonprofit organizations, right? They're not getting state funding necessarily. They are getting money from other sources, and it's really you all that help bring them all together to really open up those lines of communication through the health council meetings.
Absolutely. We have got a really strong mix of nonprofit organizations that are really working to solve very specific needs, and they're out very diligently trying to get enough funding to just maintain their operations. We also have a lot of private businesses that participate as well, that, again, are doing that. So we've got a very wide mix of of groups that participate. But the majority of those are in, groups that are working, very independently of what they're doing. And so it is, this is a good opportunity to bring those together and let them, understand what's happening in different organizations. And that allows them to focus more on their core missions, because they know when there are, other issues that are coming up, they have a resource that they can refer clients to, and that thing to make sure that their clients are getting the help they need, but also, they're able to focus on their core mission. So it creates a great opportunity for us to really expand the reach of our health and wellness community, by bringing those organizations together and letting them work together collaboratively. So in that case, it really does, help us to improve the overall health and wellness, by having that collaboration. Like you say, of a lot of these organizations that are very specific in what they're doing, that this is the opportunity they have to where they can ensure that, everyone is getting the assistance that they need.
Sure. And you mentioned that these folks are working independently, but I think too they're also having their ears open, so that if maybe a neighbor or another member of the Health Council just down the street is offering a complimentary service, they can send their clients to them and help care for them as well.
Absolutely. That's the referral nature of it, of kind of, they're working, a lot of our organizations, they're focused on their mission, and, they do have clients coming in that need help outside of that. And so this is a great opportunity for them to be able to say, hey, we don't have something in our office that we can, help you with, but you know what, I know that this office, that this organization can. I know that this person can.
Right.
Gotcha.
So that's all right. You're getting a call. I'll let you deal with that for just a moment. That's all right. That's what happens on live radio. So it will happen. But Amanda, same kind of thing though, right? I mean, that's the idea of having all these members of the Health Council to be able to share information about what each of them are doing, and able to refer folks who come in to maybe another member of the Health Council because of that connection and that relationship that they've had?
Exactly. I mean, that's why we come on your show once a month and have our partners come on here, is because, we've been doing this, I think we figured out about 10 years now. And that was because
we're not that old. I don't know what you're talking about, Amanda Evans, but okay.
Okay. 10 months then,
yes,
instead
that's
of 10
That's
years.
right.
But no, this was really started because we kept hearing that we have such great programs here, and we partner with they come together to work together, but that's still not always shared out into the community. And we have such a rural community and such a diverse community that one avenue doesn't always get all of that message out. So we try to get it out. That's why we do the Health Expo, why we come on your show, why we have these monthly meetings, is so people do know what's going on and people can make those referrals and get to the resources that they really need.
Right. Very true. And I appreciate that. And we are that old, I'm sorry to say, but you're right about that. But it's been great having you here every month for the past 10 years or so, give or take, to really share the information that you guys provide, and what you are doing in the community, and the different members of the Health Council that also come in and take up that spot to educate me and the community about what is being done in the community, which is great. So.
Right. We have members that are doing amazing things, and we want to be able to share that with the community so they can utilize it.
Very true. Very true. Rick, I want to come back to you and just see if you want to finish up your point about being able to share information with the different members of the Health Council, again, through their meetings and just through their involvement with the Health Council, these members.
Yeah, that is one of the great things about it is, there is a referral system that can be set up through it, so that we are able to come in and have that where organizations can connect very specifically when they have clients that have a need. They know the other organizations, they know the services that they provide, and so there can be that handoff, and that they know someone in that organization that they can contact and say, I'm sending a client over to you. This is what, they've expressed to us. And that creates a great dynamic within our community where we can really try and make sure that, our community members get the assistance that they need, they get the help that they need. But that's on a very broad aspect, whether it is, a specific health need, or just, the ability to kind of say, hey, I know that this organization, does some things around this or this, so it really does help open up the doors to our community within the Health Council, of letting everyone know what is available in the community, how to contact these organizations, what the admission process, what the processes are for those different organizations are. And that's the great thing about the Health Council. Like I say, it's open to all of our community. We want to have, multiple different members in there so that we can broaden that horizon. The more that we know about our community, the more that we know about the services that are being offered, the more we can refer members out into the community to, get the needs that they have met.
Right. And I guess the opposite might be true too, right? Because maybe there's a service that's not being offered, and you would maybe know that by looking around the table at your health council meetings and seeing a gap in services, or hearing from one of your members saying, I really wish we had a place to send folks who are dealing with X, and we don't have that.
Absolutely. And that's, one of the things that we've also identified as part of our work is access to healthcare in our community. And so, that is, as we're talking about these things, also kind of looking at that in terms of, what is missing, and then, how can we try and help cover that, whether that might be working with the organizations that are already existing in our community, or kind of seeing, how can we, what could be done to fill that gap. But a lot of times what that really does do is it allows those organizations to kind of recognize, no, there really isn't this being done. So if we move into that space, we can fill this need, and we're not going to be stepping on our toes. I think that's one of the great things about our community is we have such a collaborative nature within our community that, a lot of us want to work together. We're not trying to compete with one another, as we try and build up this community. And so, it does help that of, if one organization says, hey, we're going to try this out, everybody else can kind of come in and say, like, hey, we're going to support you. We're going to make sure everybody knows that you're taking on this new initiative, and really try and build that up in our community. So I think that is one of the great things, that collaborative nature of when an organization does say, hey, we're going to try and fill this gap, everyone else can support them in taking that project on and trying to make sure it's successful.
You bet. Sure. And the community wins.
Absolutely.
In the long run. So that's very true. We are just about out of time this morning, both of you, but thank you so much for coming in. Again, it is the second annual Healthy Living Expo, Saturday, February 22nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. out at McGee Park. And booth space still available if you act fast.
Yes.
Point your phone at that poster on the screen right now, and you can sign up. The booth spaces are free. Admission is also free, and stuff there for everybody, all ages, I guess, right?
Yep.
So
it's to as old as you want to come.
There you are. Very good. Well, thank you very much for coming in, and thanks for all the work to put this together. It's a lot of work to keep track of 60-plus vendors and booth spaces and things like that. So looking forward to it.
Great. We look forward to having everybody come out for it.
All right. Very good. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
My guest this morning from the San Juan Health Council with me here on KSJE. KSJE and the San Juan College Native American Center present the Student Study Tip of the Week.
Hello there, it's me, Emin Chi, Achievement Coach with the Native American Center, bringing you coaching tips of the week. For week 3, taking good notes. Study starts in the classroom. Pay attention and take good notes. So when you're studying later, you can just review information instead of looking for it for the first time. Speak with your professor about recording lectures on your phone. A recording can complement your notes so you can go back and re-listen to the information in case there are other details you pick up later to note them. Effective note-taking strategies can have a direct impact on your study habits, and it is one of the most important study tips for college.
Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.